I get so sick of hearing about the baby boomers. Baby boomers this, baby boomers that. And then there's the greatest generation. Well, I'm in neither of those. I'm in between, and there is a middle generation. And we're the people that we've financially and everything, we're in great shape. Because I've got the right retirement tier. I got out of school and I got a job like I was supposed to, and I had a wife and I have children like I was supposed to, and I've obeyed the laws, and so everything has worked out great, except I didn't have any fun that the boomers had back in the late 60s. I kind of was jealous of them, but at the time I was one of the people that was fighting all that drug stuff. And now, hey, heck, I'd like to try a little besides alcohol, but not just marijuana. No, I don't, nothing else. People will say that once you've had one, you want another one. And I find that to be very true. I think if I was younger and had felt the way I do now, I would get something like that, because that would be fun as a teacher, having something like that. You know, like something on your knuckles that says "shut up," or there's just lots of cool things you could come up with. But that mustache is good. But there's so many temporary ones that'll stay on for a week or two that I think they all do in the movies to make somebody look really tough and buff. I guess maybe I should try those or something. And I thought, geez, he'd do this freehand. He was following lines and everything, but still, I couldn't do that. Although I probably could. Some of them have them on their legs, and or on their stomach or their back, and it's just personal and it's theirs, and that's what tattooing, I think, is all about. Tattoos always have interested me, but they were obviously people who were in the lower part of society, I thought, or you always think that. I would have never gotten one except in 2005, my oldest son, Craig, died. He committed suicide. In fact, he was living right downtown. He was 39 years old. A rock and roller, long hair, lots of tattoos, lots of piercings. He just looked scary. He had a woman come up to him in one of the stores down, and he didn't know her. And she said, "You scare me." And she couldn't have been talking to anybody nicer than this kid. He just looked. He looked fine, and he wasn't tall, he wasn't big like this. Anyway, my daughter and I thought that we should honor him somehow, so we got a tattoo. And this is Craig, and this is his ankh. He liked ankhs. He had necklaces, which I wore for a while, but I don't really like things like that around my neck all the time. So this was the best idea. Kristen got one on her arm, and we met and we had a good old time. She's having hers done. Oh, does it hurt? Oh yeah, it hurts. And it's just like somebody scratching your skin with a pin, but depends on the area of your body too. But this isn't too bad here. So 3 years later, 2008, she died. She had a heart attack in the middle of the night. Now, this is a 40-year-old woman who had 2 children, who was about 5'10", very strong-looking person. I mean, she just seemed healthy as hell. And so it fits in right with today, with women talking about heart attacks happening to women. Well, here's my daughter, 40 years old, and she's gone. So again, I got to get a tattoo, so I got a tattoo of here, the heart with Kristen on it, which needs a little work. The first time I got this done, I got it in Morrisville, and apparently I was allergic to the red dye, because this thing bubbled up and just looked gross. It was just a horrible looking thing, and I didn't know what to do with it. And it kind of, well, after a while, somebody gave me an antibiotic. The doctor gave me an antibiotic anyways, and it finally went away. And I went to another tattoo person who cleaned it all up for me and made it look much better. A lot of people who know me, they don't like to, anytime, especially if you have a child die, they're afraid to mention his name because they're afraid they're gonna, they don't know what to say. And in reality, we want you to say his name because we want you to remember Craig and we want you to remember Kristen. So we love to hear about, we're not going to break down crying. You know, we used to do that, but not anymore. Which leaves me with one son who obviously likes Green Lantern. And his father likes Green Lantern because I grew up, you know, reading Green Lantern, and he's a cartoonist. He does great that kind of work. So when I'm thinking about a tattoo for him, his name's Scott with just one T. So I thought that was the perfect thing. So there I got 3 of my family. Well, what about my wife? I don't know. What could I have about my wife? And I just got her name's Sally, and this is perfect because the great blue eye is always watching me. And when I'm driving and I got my arm out the window and I look my rearview mirror, it's looking at me. So I thought that's great. Now I got those 4. Now how about me? You know, I've thought for a long time what it should be, and that's not an easy thing to figure out, especially if you're a young person, because you're going to have it for a long time. Although I think now they can take them off with the laser, but you still end up with a little bit of a, you know, you can tell there was something there, I think. So to make a long story short, I haven't come up with one. I've got some ideas. I love the tattoos that come up from your neck and go up your neck like that. I really like that. But if you're going to be working a bank or something like that, I don't think you can do that because a shirt doesn't cover that. And you see so many tattoos on famous people that you don't know if they really got those tattoos. Now, Lady Gaga, she's got the under her arms here, and she's had that there for so long. I'm figuring that that's a real tattoo and not a temporary one. Maybe if I find out that I've only got 6 months to live, I'd get something done in the middle of my forehead or something to really freak out everybody that comes to visit me. I'm going to be cremated anyway, so they won't see me in a casket like that, I don't think. The ones I've had, it's a great experience. They're nice people. I don't know where they get they just must be naturally talented, obviously. But the guy that I had do this stuff, making the sharp lines and everything, it just is really cool. I like watching those tattoo shows, and some of those people are really over the top, obviously, or not so obviously to them. But tattooing your teeth and the inside of your lip kind of is a little much, or your whole face or your head. But so much of it is artwork, and the talent is amazing of a tattoo artist. I don't know how they do it without going too far into your skin, but they seem to do it. He said that when you get older, your skin tends to get thinner and you don't tattoo as well because your skin gets thinner and it doesn't hold the ink may bleed more in an older person. So that's not stopping me, but when we went down to Cortland, I'd never really been in a tattoo parlor before, and when we were going to have this one done, and there was a pair of handcuffs in a neon sign that were handcuffs, and it was a place you could get bail money. You could get bailed out. It was a bail bondsman. You know, I thought, wow, this is quite a place. He bails people out of jail and he does tattoos. Seems that's a good deal. It's making money. But I would always want it someplace where it could be seen. That is, I don't want to put one on the back of my leg. You'd only see it maybe in the summertime. You know, if it's that important to you, I would think you'd want people to see it. And when I see people with tattoos, I don't stop them on the street, but if we're in a situation where we're standing in line or something, I'll ask them if I can look at them. And we're always happy to show you, because, well, you must be proud of it because you had it put on there. And some of the stories are interesting. I think they like to talk about them. And I do too. I just did. And that's me. Married, 3 kids, 72 years old.